maybe that's tragic, maybe that's sad, but guess what? You could have moved.
Yeah.
It's pretty inevitable I would say pretty inevitable that mountain's going to erupt. And when it does, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be destructive.
Yeah. But that's also that whole, like, my daughter made a comment to me at like age 18, right? I said, well, this could happen if you do this. She was like, well, it also could not happen. Like, there's always a chance that it
Mhm.
won't happen that way.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's very true. And in some ways, her saying that as an 18-year-old, I was like, oh, you're an idiot teenager. But at the same time, I also kind of admire the that
Mhm.
perspective, at the same time. But it is kind of like it's a more risky way to look at things. And I was like, look, not with common sense things. Like, certain things, like you said, it might not happen right away, but it is inevitable,
And
and
it increase certain things
probably pay attention
increase
to that.
the element of the risk.
Yes.
And to keep the connections because it's not life urgent that you know what riding shotgun means.
So I think just in general, we forget
Mhm.
that they haven't experienced certain things that we have. And it is really cool to, like, tell them stories that, sometimes, most of the time, kids want to learn. They want to know things. And I think that's a really good thing to point out, because I think sometimes we very oftentimes really we forget that they weren't here to experience some of the things we were here to experience, and otherwise might not even know about it.
Yeah. And to keep the connections because it's not, life urgent that you know what riding shotgun means. But I do believe that when we have these bits and pieces, if you go to the airport and you go through the TSA and all of that check, to be able to say to someone, when I flew when I was younger, this didn't happen. And the reason that this is here is because of this world event
Yeah, yeah,
because of how things unfolded around airports and flying and so on. And
yeah,
that's why today, when we go through, to get to the gate, that we go through this checking. And that's whether, somebody might not agree with it, they might think it's unimportant, or they're angry that there's too much control or invasiveness, but it's still a part of the story and
absolutely.
life is about story.